I passed out from low blood sugar right at the feet of the hottest guy on campus. And he thought I was doing a goose mom fake fall. Damn, that's some solid method acting. If I'd been conscious, I swear I would have cussed him out on the spot. Later, when he found out I'd actually fainted from hypoglycemia, he was so regretful he wanted to slap himself awake in the middle of the night. Honestly, guys, college students can die way too easily. Who the hell gets up at 6 a.m. for morning drills? After the run, I felt totally dizzy, barely making it back to my dorm when my vision blurred. My knees buckled, and I collapsed. Instinctively, I grabbed whoever was closest. Another one? That's the third girl this week who's passed out in front of Luke. The guy I crashed into twitched his leg and went, "Damn, that's some solid method acting. All right, get up now any longer, and it's just rude." That was the last thing I heard before I blacked out. I remember thinking, am I even going to wake up from this? I could just picture myself lying on the sidewalk, people walking by, muttering, "Another goose mom wannabe down." Because hey, college these days is all about being mentally unhinged. Goose mom, this glorious age really delivered your vision. Smiling. At least I was still alive. I was lying in the infirmary bed, sipping glucose water, when my roommate Isabel suddenly burst out laughing. "Was it Luke from the Sports Institute who carried you here? Damn, girl. You're already swimming in love luck." She leaned in and whispered, "Remember our ride or die, share all blessings pact." I'm claiming the guy who was standing next to him. I stared at her, confused. She shoved her phone at me. It was a Douyin clip. Someone had been filming the sunrise and caught my collapse, complete with meme music. In just 2 hours, it had over 10,000 likes. I mean, fair enough, my fall really did look like a stage stunt. I'd even grabbed onto his pants as I went down. Luke, the guy I framed, was in a white tank top, muscles on full display, no doubt a sports major. People around us were chuckling at the spectacle, until Luke suddenly frowned and muttered, "Shit." Next thing I knew, he scooped me up with ease and sprinted toward the infirmary. This was my TV debut. I nervously opened the comments. Finally, a real feint in the sea of fakes. That fall had some serious technique, caught the hottest guy perfectly. Dog emoji. She even copped a feel of the jock's button legs. Dog emoji. That Princess Carrie is boyfriend material. Aff. Licking screen emoji. I've mastered fainting now. I just need a jock. Crying emoji. Darkness fell again. I died. A social death. Then came the devil's whisper. There's a lecture attendance bonus 0.5 credits. I opened my eyes. I lived. Whatever. College is just a series of near-death experiences anyway. What's going on? I rubbed my eyes, dragged out of bed by Isabel. "Girl, you're about to become the queen of the campus, bad boy. My little cutie no more." She fake sobbed like a drama queen. I rolled my eyes, figured she hadn't fully woken up yet. "You've read too many cheesy novels. Campus bad boy. Really? Told you to check the school forum more often. You never listen. Open it now, someone's going insane looking for you." I opened the app, and whoa, one user had spammed the forum. 3:14 a.m. from Century Egg Congee, summer simmered in a pot. "Hi everyone, I'm Luke. Does anyone have contact info for Summer from the Foreign Languages Department? I didn't realize she fainted from hypoglycemia. I'm really sorry." 4:20 a.m. Same user. "Summer, I swear I didn't know you fainted in front of me. If I'd known it was you, even if it was fake, I still would have helped you up." 5:21 a.m. again. "Summer, are you feeling better? Did the doctor confirm it was hypoglycemia? Want to go to the hospital just in case?" "Don't worry. I'll take full responsibility." Comment section. No way did he wake up midnight, racked with guilt, slap himself and scream, "Damn it, I suck." Dog emoji, say it ain't so. What's going on? Is this really the Luke we know? Popcorn emoji. What made the campus jock confess at 3 a.m.? Let's find out, dog emoji. My face turned bright red. Oh God, what is he saying? Why is it getting flirtier by the post? It's not like it was his fault. He even carried me to the infirmary. What's he feeling guilty for? I DM'd Luke, immediately had to stop him from posting more nonsense. I gave him my WeChat. Just as I picked up my toothbrush, a friend request popped up. That fast? Did he not sleep all night? His username made me pause. Summer in summer. Exactly like mine. If not for the different profile pics, I would have thought it was one of my burner accounts. I splashed water on my face and messaged him. Hi, this is Summer. I was just a little hypoglycemic yesterday, feeling much better now. Also, it was me who accidentally fell on you. I should be the one apologizing. This is Luke. I'm downstairs at your dorm. Can you come out for a sec? I had no clue what he wanted, but figured I'd go check. Under the tree stood a tall silhouette, and for some reason, he looked nervous. I walked toward him slowly. He shifted awkwardly. You came down. In pajamas, he stammered, eyes flicking everywhere but at me. I looked down. I had thrown on a jacket. Besides, wasn't he the one who asked me to come down? I didn't want him waiting long. Before I could speak, he shoved a breakfast bag into my hands. This is for you. You need to eat properly. Then he scratched his head and walked off, cheeks slightly pink. I stood there, baffled. Did he just stammer? I'm not that scary, am I? Is this really the bad boy Isabel talked about? Why did he seem so different in person? And weirdly familiar? I glanced at the couple at the dorm entrance, giggling shyly at each other. Kind of similar vibe. What was going on? For the next few days, Luke brought me breakfast like clockwork. I felt a little guilty eating his food every day, plus my roommates were drowning me in gossip stares. Before I could bring it up to him, something even more mortifying happened. I overslept and missed my afternoon elective. My roommates didn't take it, so no one reminded me. To top it off, I was the group leader. Skipping class made it even worse. Thankfully, I was only 15 minutes late. If I sneaked in quietly, I could still salvage it. That was the dream. Reality was just as I slipped in through the back door. I tripped on a desk leg. Huge crash. I landed in the most ridiculous, dramatic way possible. My water bottle flew out and slammed onto the floor. I sat there dazed, mind completely blank. Silence, thick as fog. Everyone in the room was staring. I wanted to cry. Could anything be more humiliating than this? I was still sprawled on the floor, dazed, when someone walked over. Close your eyes. I obeyed, and he draped his jacket over me, then lifted me into his arms, picking up my water bottle on the way. The strength in those arms, the feel of that chest familiar. It was Luke. His clear voice rumbled from his chest to my ears. Professor, Summer fainted again. I'm taking her to the infirmary. The teacher, clearly worried, nodded quickly. Go, go! And just like that, the entire class watched as Luke carried me out. I didn't even know he was in this elective. Not really my fault, though. Electives are for coasting, right? Never skip a class, never learn a damn thing. You're just there for the vibes. After class, it's all about food inflation. Wow, what a coincidence. We're in the same class, I said first. Why is it that every time something embarrassing happens, he's always there? Falling flat on my face couldn't be more awkward. It's not a coincidence, he said suddenly. I looked up at him. His eyes were deep, unreadable. He looked away before I could speak, then bent down to check my knee. My knee was a little red and swollen, not too bad. The fall just sounded worse than it was. Luke took out some Yunnan Bayao spray from his bag and gently applied it to my knee, brows furrowed with concern. Honestly, it didn't hurt that much, but from the way he looked, you'd think it was serious. Keep the wound dry, and no running for now. okay? I nodded obediently. He really was such a good guy. A literal saint. Every day he helped me line up for food, grabbed seats but never ate with me, always keeping his distance. For a moment, I'd actually thought he might like me, but he told me it was just classmates helping each other and that I shouldn't overthink it. Still, after being saved by him twice during my social deaths, I felt I owed him a meal, at least, so I messaged him. No reply yet. Back in the day, I'd miss a meal. Now I can't even finish a conversation. Maybe I was cursed. Did he delete me? I sent another message, went through. Thank God. I wasn't blocked. Then the other party is typing. I panicked and quickly deleted my last message. What did I even say? Oh, right. What? You too good to reply to me? Dear heavens. Why do I even exist? Whatever. Sanity is overrated. Instead of spiraling inward, why not spiral outward and harass others? I asked myself 3 times. Nope, not my fault. Sure enough, he replied quickly with a voice message. I'm so sorry. I was at swim practice just now and didn't see your texts. He sounded sincere. If you listened closely, you could even hear him catching his breath. He sounded so rushed. What kind of soft-ass bad boy is this? And then I felt bad. Damn, I was really being mean. If he were a real badass like in novels, he'd have flattened 10 of me by now. Luke followed up with another voice message. Wait, did you say you wanted to treat me to a meal? Do I still have the honor? His tone was getting almost pitiful. Dude, no need to beg. Flash that bicep and I'll drop to my knees. I carefully resent the invite and explained the earlier message was a mistake. He replied instantly. Really? I'm already downstairs at your dorm. Can we go eat now? Wait, already here? I never even said when. I peeked out the window. There he was, standing exactly where I could see him, looking up in my direction. That was fast. Wasn't he just at the pool? Sports majors really are built different. By the way, every time you grabbed food, it was always something I liked. After all the times he got me food, this was our first time actually eating together. I looked at the soup he brought me, no scallions. I love soup, but hate scallions. Even Isabel, who eats with me all the time, never noticed. He handed me my chopsticks. I noticed before, he said, then added, just happened to catch it once. Oh. I looked down and ate. Even the portion was just right, like what I always ask the cafeteria auntie for. Give this man the national scholarship already. Isabel stared at me like I was some alien. Summer, how do you go all in on slacking off but also go hardcore when it comes to studying? I sighed. If your mum was the dean of discipline, you'd understand. Wait, are you going to the library later? She jumped up to block me. I'm coming too. Failing sucks, but watching your friend succeed is worse. We hadn't even studied for half an hour before she started sighing. Shame to admit it, but this is my first time in such a sacred hall of learning. Turns out, when the lazy enter a library, they just tiptoe around doing nothing. I feel like a thief trying to steal knowledge and failing. I watched her close her book and whispered in her ear, Thief, you gain nothing and still run away. She shot me a glare, then tried to sneak off. This place just doesn't vibe with me. As long as I live with no regrets, the rest is karma's job. After she left, she texted me. I love the library so much. Feels like I'm paying for sins from a past life. Before I could roast her, someone else sat down next to me, Luke, looking all serious with a book in hand. Didn't know jocks liked English books. I leaned over. The Shawshank Redemption. I like that one too. What was the main character's name again? I tried to remember. Hot guy, he answered. I gave him a look. He quickly corrected himself, blushing. No, I mean Shawshank. Well, close enough. I let it slide. A few minutes later, he started yawning. He looked at me guiltily, teary-eyed like a sad puppy. I cleared my throat. Maybe people who cry easily just aren't cut out for studying. 10 yawns in 3 minutes, tears everywhere. You overly empathetic types really shouldn't be studying. Luke may have just realized, for the first time in his 20 years, that he flunks not because he's dumb, but because he's too sensitive. His puppy eyes lit up, nodding fast. My heart nearly exploded. This was insane. The guy looked like he could knock out 10 of me with one punch, but he was really just a golden retriever. When he's sad, his eyes droop. He was hitting every one of my weak spots. Help. Who could resist this? I reached out and ruffled his hair. So soft. I tried hard to hide my smile and started spouting nonsense again. People with strong empathy get sleepy just watching others study. If you're tired, just nap. I'll wake you later. Luke might have just discovered he was an empath. He obediently laid his head on the desk and dozed off. I sighed inwardly. Man, he's way too easy to fool. A few more sweet lies and I could probably sell him bitter melon as candy. With him asleep, I could finally stare at him without shame. He always gave me mixed signals, only to avoid me like the plague. Every time our eyes met, he'd look away like I was radioactive. Now, with his head down on the desk, even the sunlight seemed to favor him. He practically glowed. Long lashes, a straight nose. How does he train every day and still never get a tan? He looked like one of those rugged guys in arts troupes from novels, all brooding artist on the outside. I tore my eyes away, patted my cheeks. Enough. No more thirsting. Focus. Do you love studying? Yes, I love studying. And finally, I finished my paper. Mom, I finished my paper. Sending it to you now. She said I had to send it to her first. Better she suffer alone than my poor professors. Wow, not bad at all, she replied. Praise. Was she possessed? Right? Haha, thanks, Mom. My smile froze the next second. Knew it was too good to be true. Mom. So, where are you submitting this masterpiece? Reader's Digest? Chicken soup for the soul? They've got a joke section, and your paper would fit right in. Yep, there's that classic flavor. You really know how to crush my self-esteem. But my mum was ruthless. I only wish you had some. Then maybe you wouldn't be sending me this garbage. After several edits, I finally got her approval. Just as I thought I could relax, my dear bestie Isabel added another spicy layer to my already colourful reputation. I had asked her to share a book about human anatomy with me, not to post it in the whole class group chat, and she even tagged me, excitedly saying, "Here's your stuff." She realized and deleted it quickly, but we were literally in an online class chat. The group chat went dead silent. Everyone who'd been chatting just stopped. The world kissed me with pain, and I nearly died, but I wasn't going down alone. Gritting my teeth, I replied, "Is this the new book you stayed up writing last night?" Then deleted it, a minute later. Best friends hurt each other. That's just how it works. After class, I posted a video set to "Viewable by Isabel only." Shh, don't speak. I've got 2 things to say. First, we're done. Second, yeah, I'm not that good looking, but you're no prize either. Say what you must, but think 3 times before opening that mouth. Cool? Isabel responded with a breakup video of her own, but by lunchtime, we'd made up she treated me to rice noodles, and I bought her stir-fry. I had forgotten one thing though. Jason, our class TA, was also in that group chat. He was basically my mum's human surveillance drone. He's always polished, buttoned up, spouting lectures like a walking life manual. The way he nags me mirrors my mum so much I sometimes wonder if we were switched at birth. Summer, stop reading useless books. Did you even look at the grad school prep material I sent you? Stop wasting time on nonsense. Everyone in our family has a postgraduate degree. If you don't get into grad school, we'll summer. Did you even listen to a word I said? Do you know what you're doing to me? Jason, the so-called Ice Prince, didn't even raise his voice. That was his version of angry. I glared at him, You're literally my second mom. I deserve basic human rights, okay? You hovered over me from middle school to high school, and now I'm finally an adult. In college, I want to go wild. Isn't that the whole point of being alive, to be unhinged at least once? Don't you get tired of constantly repressing yourself? And let me say this one last time. Stop treating me like your property. Try controlling me again and I'll lose it. One punch and boom, earth shattered. And FYI, I have a boyfriend now. What? Still stuck in the olden days? Believe in arranged marriage? Seriously? I didn't want to argue anymore. I turned to leave, but Jason grabbed my hand like he wanted to say something. Just as I turned my head, I caught a glimpse of Luke. Our eyes met. He quickly turned around, like he'd been caught. Perfect timing, my lifesaver. Before Jason could speak, I called out, "Luke, why are you running? I'm right here." I shook off Jason's hand and didn't even look back at the wounded expression on his face. Yeah, maybe I was being harsh, but I was done letting people control me. I jogged over to Luke and gave him a playful wink, dragging him toward Jason. "This is my boyfriend, Luke from the Sports Institute. Cute, right?" I grinned and introduced Jason to Luke. "This is Jason, he's a year ahead. Studies, finance, and also happens to be my second mom." I grabbed Luke's hand. He was so nervous. His palms were sweating. His ears turned red as he blurted out, "Hi, Mum." Both he and Jason froze. Jason's face went dark. I quickly pulled Luke away. "Just call him Senior from now on. Let's go, you said you'd walk me back to my dorm, right?" Luke seemed totally shell-shocked, walking like a robot, still holding my hand. I gave a little tug and he snapped out of it, quickly letting go. "Sorry, I just dragged you into this." Then he stopped abruptly, looked at me and asked, "You and him aren't together?" "Of course not. Who told you that? I can't stand the guy." I frowned at him. His eyes were slightly red, his sharp features giving him this melancholy depth. He looked at me like I meant the world. I could decipher the toughest academic texts, but never his expression. How could we have just met, yet his gaze felt like he'd known me forever? And then he dropped a bomb that shook my entire being. "Then can I chase you?" He stared straight at me, like he'd mustered all his courage. I was stunned, cheeks instantly flushing red. You don't have to answer right now. I really like you. Have for a while. I don't need a reply. I just wanted to tell you how I feel." Luke stammered, blushing all the way from his ears to his neck. We stood outside the dorm, both blushing, neither daring to look at the other. From my window, I watched him stand there for ages. And what I wanted to say was, sincerity is always the most moving thing. He may seem clumsy, but I think I'm genuinely touched. I was wavering. I didn't know how to face him. No one had ever confessed to me before. Middle school, high school, I was under my mom's iron grip. No one dared come near. I didn't even know what being in love felt like. And Luke, he seemed pretty popular. What if I was just a fleeting crush to him? Before I had time to figure out how to face him, our department had a mixer with the Sports Institute. Of course, our class got paired with Luke's. After dinner, the group started playing Truth or Dare. Before I could react, the bottle pointed straight at me. I chose Dare and drew the dare of all dares. Kiss someone of the opposite sex present. Seriously? That intense? Right off the bat? Was I about to lose my first kiss here? "I'll drink for her," Luke said, grabbing a glass off the table. His buddies started teasing. "Whoa, Luke can't bear to watch? If you're drinking for her, it's 10 glasses." "I accept the dare," I said. We were playing. After all, no one backs out. I glanced nervously at Luke, and the meaning in my eyes was clear. His eyes lit up. "Is it okay?" he asked. I gave the slightest nod, mentally chanting, "It's fine, just a kiss. And it's with Luke, not a bad deal." The next second, Luke cupped my face, leaned in slowly, breath mingling with mine. His thumb brushed over my lips. His thumb was the only thing between our lips. It was the closest I'd ever been to a guy. The cheers around us faded. I could only see the look in his eyes. My heart felt like it had hitched a ride on a bird, soaring across mountains, weightless, breathless. Now, I understood why butterflies in my stomach was the phrase for falling in love. I left early. Luke followed and offered to walk me back. Next time someone dares you to do something like that, just say no, he said. If you weren't there, I wouldn't have done it, I replied. We both froze for a second. Chaos ensued again. I got into another fight with Isabel, and somehow, the breakup message I meant to send her ended up going to Luke. I only realized after waking from my nap. He texted back, "I respect your decision." What the hell? Are you downstairs at my dorm? I messaged him. Luke replied, "Yeah, I'm just passing by. Not here specifically to see you." Yeah, right. Like I'd buy that. The dorm forum had already blown up. "There's a hot guy crying downstairs. Photo." The picture showed a guy sitting on the dorm steps, devastated. Comments. "Looks like Luke. Not 100% sure though. Dog emoji. Which girl is this lucky? Step up and claim your man. Drama emoji. I'm laughing way too hard. There goes my karma." I threw on a jacket and bolted downstairs. If I didn't explain, his tears might flood the dorm. I sat beside Luke and patted his shoulder. "All right, stop crying. That message was for my roommate. I sent it by mistake. He really looked like a sad little kid." "Really?" he asked, eyes glistening. "Really? Why would I lie to you?" I patted his back, comforting him for a while before he finally calmed down. Then I posted on the forum, "Okay, stop building skyscrapers. He's fine now." Just to be convincing, I added a photo of us together. After class, while I was walking around the track, Isabel messaged me. "Want to hear a huge piece of gossip?" Luke's roommate G. Fay told me. "Tell me." $10. "She really tried that on me?" "Forget it." I shut her down. Okay, fine. It's free." I let her sweat for a bit before replying. Isabel begged, "Pleasey, just listen." Got her. $10. So I got my intel and $10 to boot. I stared at the chat screenshot Isabel sent. G. Fay told her. Luke and Summer went to the same middle school and high school. Everyone in our class knows Luke likes her. He even shows up to foreign languages events more than sports events. That truth? Or dare thing? We rigged it so Summer would draw that dare. My heart skipped. So Luke had known me all this time. Why hadn't he told me? Back then I was either studying or on my way to study. I was memorizing vocab while walking. I didn't have time for anything not related to academics. I opened my photo album and pulled up the class photo from middle school, zooming in, searching for Luke's face. And there he was, just behind me to the side. So close. His younger self was slightly turned, looking my way. That moment his gaze was frozen in the photo. I quickly found our high school class photo. The two pictures were eerily similar. Everyone else had changed, but not him. His lowered eyes looking at me hadn't changed. I felt a little panicked, short of breath. I couldn't help but wonder, in this fast-paced world, could someone really like me for 5 or 6 years, like in the movies? Summer! My thoughts were interrupted. I looked up. Luke was running toward me under the sun, wearing a basketball jersey, tall and lean. Pure teen energy, bold, bright, and unafraid. The school's broadcast music started playing just then. It was the song Encounter. We went around in circles just to meet. I know more than anyone how important you are. It's been so long, but I've decided. I won't let go of your hand. I watched him run toward me. The world stood still, but my heart pounded wildly. I thought, since he's taken so many steps toward me, I'll take the last few toward him. I ran to him and threw my arms around his waist. He stiffened. "What's wrong? Did someone bully you?" I looked up and said firmly, "Let's be together. I like you too." Luke froze again, eyes wide in disbelief. "You mean it?" Of course I do. Why? Don't you want to date me? I do. Truth is, it's harder to meet a Yuan Shangqin than a Jiang Zishu. Is there really someone in this world who would chase after someone for years, asking for nothing in return, never giving up? I asked my old high school desk mate. Hey, remember Luke? You mean that jock from class 3? He finally confessed, huh? How'd you know he liked me? Why did everyone else know? Girl, the whole school knew except you. You never saw it? Every time you showed up, his eyes were glued to you. He was basically a human GPS for you. If we couldn't find you, we just looked where he was looking. I even heard you both got into the same college. I've never seen a guy this devoted and this hot, unreal. I opened my mom's social media. It was filled with my photos, one after another, most of which I didn't even remember. I'd been too busy chasing grades. But in every single picture, there was a familiar figure, Luke. Turns out, throughout the boundless expanse of my youth, I never knew him, but he was always there. When I gave speeches under the flag, he stood behind me as the flag bearer. When I was on stage receiving awards, he was the one handing me flowers. During morning runs, he jogged quietly beside me. Turns out, if I'd just turned around, I would have seen him. I went to watch a volleyball match at his department. The atmosphere was electric, with the ball flying like a bullet, explosive and intense. Luke's athletic form and chiseled muscle lines embodied the perfect violence meets beauty aesthetic. After the game, I went to bring Luke some water, but someone stopped me. Sis, you're Luke's girlfriend, right? Luke told me. I'm one of his best buds. We're really close, but don't get the wrong idea, it's a totally pure friendship. A girl in a basketball jersey stood blocking my way. Luke walked over and asked, "What's going on?" I hid behind him, tugged at the hem of his shirt, and turned to the girl. "I'm really sorry. I totally misunderstood your pure friendship. Could you maybe stop talking now? I'm super embarrassed. I got it all wrong. I'm so sorry." Luke frowned and said coldly, "What did you say to her?" "I don't even know you, we're not close. I don't even know your name. Please don't talk nonsense in front of my girlfriend." "I'd appreciate it if you kept your distance." Then he took my hand and walked off. I grinned at him. "You were awesome just now. You get one wish, anything you want." His face lit up. "Really? Then can we take a walk together tomorrow?" I nodded. "Sure. Even something a little bolder would be fine." "Then I want to hold your hand all day tomorrow." "That's it? Can't you wish for something a bit more daring?" His face turned bright red. W. What else would count as more daring? Somehow, I got shy too. "W, we could, find somewhere quiet and hug?" "Deal." When Isabel found out, she shook her head. "Even grade schoolers go further than you two." I snapped back. "What do you know?" When he smiled, his eyes curved like crescents pure, no trace of anything but me. Even holding hands, he'd always ask first. I'd say no, just to tease him, and he'd droop in disappointment, sometimes even tear up. His hair was soft, he smelled good, and when he choked up, his voice turned childlike. Yet physically, he was nothing like a puppy. Solid pecs, 8-pack abs, just like a campus romance novel's bad boy. But he was only soft for me. I loved that contrast. Then, finally, he asked if he could kiss me. His clear eyes reflected my face, like I was the only thing in his world. I nodded. He leaned in, one hand gently cupping the back of my neck. I could feel how nervous he was, just like when he held my hand for the first time. His breath brushed my skin, sending a strange, tingling wave down my spine. My head felt light. When it ended, he slowly let go, holding me close and panting, voice low and hoarse. "Sorry, I think I kissed you more than once." I just stood there, dumbfounded. No idea how long he kissed me. Later, after we graduated, we moved in together. Every night, he'd fall asleep with his arms around me. As a sports major, his energy was insane, I couldn't keep up. If I moved away even a little, he'd pull me right back into his arms, hugging me tight. That sense of security was indescribable. If I protested in a tiny voice or let out a faint whimper, even in his sleep he'd loosen his hold and mumble, "Don't hurt my baby." I'd watch his sleeping face, smiling. What a fool. I'm just glad we didn't miss each other. When the coin lands on its edge, it takes me back to the first time I met you. In the stairwell of the teaching building, I was heading up while he came down. We didn't pass by like strangers. I looked up at him. He looked at me. The two of us, bathed in the evening glow, locked eyes for what felt like forever. People bustled past all around us, but only we stood still, gazing for an eternity.